Hey friends, Your Sincerely Gaming here, back with part 3 of Kerbal Space Program Korea YSG thing. Oh yeah. So what we last did was completed some more contracts. Now we're going to go look for some more, because that's what this game's about. And the more contracts we do, the more money we get, the more science we get, the more we can upgrade. And the further and the better we can fly. So a lot of these things I don't have. Orbiting Kerbal is probably too much. I don't have that. Test the solid fuel booster whilst in orbit. I can't do that. I can't do that. That is too much. But I can test this at the launch site. And that is the big new solid fuel booster that I've got, which I've not seen yet. And if we're doing that, then we're probably going to want to try... Ooh, or do we? What do we want to do? Escape the atmosphere is 70. Maybe we could do that. That's a big ask. But we're going to try and get above 70,000 meters in this episode. With the little money, fuel, and whatever else it is that we've got. We are going to need to make some very important decisions, like to have a heat shield, obviously. And we also are going to put these Mark II radio mount parachutes and a Mark 16 just to be completely sure, because I don't know how this is going to work yet. Underneath that, we're going to have our decoupler, so that it's just that comes down. Underneath that, we're going to have our fuel. And I think probably 3 will be enough with a T45 underneath. Now, the cool thing that we do have... No, we don't. We don't, do we? Interesting. So, maybe I didn't think this through. What we're actually going to have to do is build a very strange looking rocket here. I don't know how well this thing's going to stand up. This is the thing we're looking at. And we are going to have fins all over this. Because I think this could be where it all goes wrong for these poor little Kerbals. If they die, they are dead as well. But that doesn't mean to say that you can't just reset the mission. But shh, don't tell anybody. Look at that, 4 parachutes. If this thing stands up, then we have a chance. Maybe we could put some landing struts on at the bottom to help it stand. If we put them there and then start deployed. I mean, I don't know, is that gonna do anything? I think it will. I think it will, you know. I think that's gonna help it stand up. So let's look at this. So we are gonna start with big boomy. So where's that? There we go. So we're going to start with that. That's going to decouple. Then we're going to fire that. That's going to decouple. And then we're going to do all of our parachutes. So we are going to be able to test this Thumper rocket, which is there. And we should hopefully reach 70,000. I'm sorry, Jeb, but this could be your last ever mission. This is where we need to test these legs. They are doing their job. Look at that. This thing is hardly balancing, but it is. So, this big fuel booster that you're about to see as well is powerful. So let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Fire. There we go. And it's not as fast as I would have thought. Maybe because we're quite heavy. And reaching 70,000 may be hard, but look at this. We do have this contract done already, so we just have to survive. So we're going to start to tilt. We're not tilting as much as I'd like, probably because we're so long and our fins are quite small. Jeb seems to be loving it. We're at what, 350 meters per second? The fuel in this is about to run out, and then everything will change, and we should be able to control this thing a bit more once this decouples. And fire, there we go. Look at that, that's perfect. Now we've just got to hope that we've got enough liquid fuel in this to get us to 70,000. I don't know if we do, but it's worth a try. Look at the speed we're at, and we've still got a lot of fuel. I think we might just do this. Now, what we can do is press the M key, and that'll tell us what our apoapsis is, and it is easily enough. Our apoapsis is the highest point of our journey. And as long as we don't burn up, what's our apoapsis now? 127. We can really kind of tilt this sideways. We could maybe get into orbit soon. And there we go, there we go. So now, let's do a crew report from here. Let's keep that data. And we are going to decouple for one last time. And when we hit 70,000 meters, there we go, we've done it. We've reached the outside. We've got outside the atmosphere, basically. We're going to overwrite this crew report because this one is too important. Because look at that, we are in space. It seems we're very much in space right now. The sky seems to be mostly below us. And we are going to keep that data. Oh, there, look at that, look at that. That's so cool. There's the rest of our shuttle flying away. That will go up and eventually come back down and probably land on one of these little villages down here and kill everybody. But it doesn't matter. And look at that, we are now at 190, and we are still going. What are we going to reach? We're going to reach 204. Maybe we could even scrap our crew report, and so there we are. We're 200,000 meters now above, and no, we're still not a high enough distance to get anything else. But as you can see, it's been quite the success as we're now reaching our apoapsis. And we're going to start coming down, and this is where it gets difficult because now we need to land this thing. So let's speed it up until we get down to 70. There we go. And we're going to have to land in the dark as well, which is always frightening. This is what he can see, pretty much nothing. And there we can see the heat really coming down. We're just going to do a couple of little adjustments. And this heat shield is doing good. Look at that. That's fine. We can live with that. I mean, that kind of shows you the life expectancy of the heat shield. And I mean, easily enough. We're now coming into the lower parts of the atmosphere. Still going over 1,000 meters per second. Look at that though. It's dropping 900, 800, 700... 600, and now if we face ourselves back down, we're at 300. We're going to quick save, and we're now coming down 200. Pilot's having to fight it. Go on, Jeb, you can do it. As we get down to 2,000 meters, we're at 220 meters per second. Let's fire these parachutes. I think we probably put on too many parachutes, let's be honest, but we wanted to be sure. And in fact, we're going at 3.3 meters per second. So even with this sped up to 4 times, we're only going at 12 meters per second. So this could be a chance to talk, but I don't know what to talk about. So screw it. Basically, though, that's what we've done. We fired those solid fuel boosters and we escaped the atmosphere, which is great. And nobody has ever done that on a Kerbin before. I think I've learnt now that Kerbin is the planet, Kerman is their last name, and Kerbal is what they are. We've still got 560 meters per second, so let's do a magic trick. Okay, and magic trick has been done. Look at that. Oh my god, we're right at the sea. What happened there? How did I do that? Where are we though? I'm guessing what we can do is do another EVA. That might have been a silly idea, because I don't know if we can grab back onto this. I'm bored. Yeah, we can, that's fine. I accidentally put these parachute covers over the door. But look at that, we've done it, and we can recover the vessel. And that should be more science. Hopefully that should be enough science. We need 18. And we've got 40.5. Wow. Look at that, we got 5 science for the crew report, 2.4 for the EVA, and 8 science for recovery of a vessel after a suborbital flight, plus the science from the actual from the contract itself. And with that, let's go buy some things. So we should probably be sensible and get stability, which gives us aerodynamics. It gives us, most importantly, these radial decouplers, which are the things that let it fire off the side, which I mentioned last time, which I thought we had for this flight. We didn't, but we still managed it anyway. And these bigger winglets. And we can still afford things. 22 science and... Oh, no, we can't. No, we can't. 45, 45, 45. I'm guessing these are all 45. Aviation, I don't care about. That's more for planes. Flight control is probably important. We got a reaction wheel there, which is... I think that lets us do SAS for non-pilots. I'm not sure, though. This is what we want, though. This Stay Sputnik Mark 1, obviously that's based on Sputnik, and that means that we're going to be able to send something into space like a satellite or just something into orbit or anything at all without having to put a man in it. And that means that we can do anything we want and crash it, and all we'll lose is money and not lives. So I think that's probably next for us. We can also get batteries, thermometers, radiator panels, and better comms. So that is the next one for us. But let's have a look at some more contracts. And now that we've done that, I reckon we're going to be close to orbiting Kerbal. But look, actually, wait, look at our money. Look at our money. Why don't... Oh, if we do this, and we upgrade... Tracking station upgrade required for flight planning. So what we're going to do here is we're going to upgrade this, and I will show you what this is now. This basically allows you to see Earth, and if we've got something in orbit, you can see it going around. And like here, you can see we've got what are these? I've never actually seen these before. Interesting, but they are just tracked objects basically. Can I have a look at those? These are, by the looks of it, these are other companies sending things into space, which is pretty cool. I didn't know that. If that's what that is, please let me know if it's something else. But then, as we zoom out here, we can see the moon, or the mun, but we're going to call it the moon. Then we also have Kerbin's second moon, Minmus. Then we go out, and you can see the size of this game. You see where we are. And eventually we could send something to Ilu, which is basically the Pluto. We've got Jewel, we've got Dres, we've got Duna. Maybe it's not Pluto, but it's kind of like it. We've got Duna, which is Mars, basically. We've got Eve, and we've got Moho, and then we've got the Sun. But with these upgrades, it means that if we have something in orbit, we'll be able to see a ring around and see our orbit, and eventually this will be full of satellites, and it'll look very, very confusing. But to get that, we had to upgrade it, and we also have to upgrade this, which does flight planning, and we're allowed 7 contracts. So our money's a lot lower, but we can do a lot more. And before we take the next contract, I'm going to end this episode here. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've liked it. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you have. And give me some tips, because obviously I'm not the best at this. But we haven't killed anybody yet. So remember to check out the other things that I've done, especially parts 1 and 2 of these if you haven't seen them already. And don't you go change.